Every time I see the message boards light up with Come to Brazil, it gets me juiced.
So first, I'm Bella from Cine in Brazil. It's really nice meeting you, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Bella. I am Jacoby from Papa Roach, living in California. Woo, hot as fuck right now.
So my first question for you is that we saw this TikTok that you did, the whole band did, of the Of Course trend. And there's a moment that Tobin says, I'm in the band Papa Roach. Of course, people ask us to come to Brazil daily. So I'll do the honors. When are you guys coming to Brazil? And please come to Brazil.
Okay, so I can tell you right here. We are coming down. I got my schedule right in front of me.
So you're coming.
Yeah, I know that we're coming in November. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is really great news. And I know you guys tour worldwide. You've been to a lot of places. And the last time you guys came to Brazil was in 2016. But I have to ask, do you still remember the energy of the Brazilian crowd?
Oh, absolutely. I had a freaking blast. It was right before we dropped our album Crooked Teeth. And it was a whirlwind of a tour. And I lost my passport on the way to the tour. And I almost didn't even I almost had to cancel a show in Colombia because I lost my passport. I got an emergency passport, and our promoter in Brazil had to take me to another passport company and get a work visa. And it was just a whole freaking ordeal. And, but the shows were amazing. And I'm sorry it's been so long since we've been back. You know, it's a market that we know loves Papa Roach, and we know we got a ton of fans down there that listen to our music. We see the streaming numbers. We see so many people in Brazil just rocking our music. And so we owe you guys.
I'm glad that now there's a date. It's a date. And you guys started in 93 and now we're in 2024. So I have to ask, how much have you changed both as a person and as a rock star since all over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid when we started this band, you know, just making music in the garage, and had a big dream of doing this and becoming a rock star. And, you know, all the expectations that I had of what being a rock star was like, you know, the partying and all that crazy stuff. I went and did all that, you know, and then I realized that was just an empty hole. It was just a bottomless pit of darkness. And I had to change my life, you know, and having kids and being married has inspired me to be a better man and a better musician, a better songwriter, a better father, a better friend, a better husband, all those things. And I've had some really dark moments in my life through this. And then I've had some very amazing, hopeful, transformative moments in my life. And I've had my mistakes and my successes on full display in front of the world for almost my whole life. And it's an interesting way to live, to still maintain an identity of who you really are down in your heart of hearts and in your soul. Like, who are you as a person? Like, you know, yeah, I don't know, man, being a rock star it's a weird thing. To be honest, I'm like a rock star without like wanting to be one in a weird way. Like I say, it really what it is I am that rock star when I am on that stage. That is when I'm a fucking rock star. You know what I mean? Anywhere else, I'm just a man.
There's something that is something actually that I wanted to talk to you because you have mentioned before that you've been sober for 10 years. And when we think about rock stars, we also link to this life of drugs and alcohol. Was it challenging for you to make that shift in your life? And do you think this concept of rock star has evolved in that regard?
Absolutely. The use of drugs and alcohol is promoted and encouraged in this business, and I refuse to succumb to that anymore. I gave myself to it and I saw the results of that in my life. It was just like destruction of myself, destruction of my relationships. I just wasn't like, I wasn't me, you know, and I knew it. And so back in 2004, I tried to get sober for the first time and I struggled with it. I would be sober for a few months and then I would fall off the wagon. I'd be on the road and I would be lonely and, you know, I'd pick up the bottle again. And it wasn't until 2012 that I finally put the bottle down, and I haven't drank a sip of alcohol since February 19th, 2012. And that has transformed my life in so many positive ways that, you know, I can't even count on. It was either like dead or in jail, you know, it was like, that's where I was headed. And I remember when I called one of my producers and I was said, hey man, I'm getting sober. It was right before we drove down to start recording a record called Getting Away with Murder. And the producer was like, what the fuck are you doing? That's what's fucking wrong with rock and roll these days. All you fucking rock stars are getting sober. It's making rock boring. And I'm like, dude, fuck rock and roll, man. Like I'm trying to fight for my life, you know? And so that's what you're up against sometimes as an artist, and like what's dangerous and what's, you know, edgy in life. And it's like, it only lasts for so long, you know? And it's like, I couldn't have this business like chew me up and eat me up and spit me out. I had a bigger purpose than just doing that. And you know, it's been a transformation that I'm grateful that I've been bold and brave enough to fight that demon. And you know, the devil lost one in me. I don't work for him no more.
This is really nice to hear. I'm glad that you're in a better moment of your life right now. And so how do you take care of your mental health, dealing with a life on the road and navigating the challenges of this music industry?
Yeah, I try to maintain a soft, compassionate heart by setting solid, strong boundaries around my life and myself. And that's been, I think, one of the empowering things that I've been able to do is continue to stand up for what I believe is right for me as a person. So I can suit up and show up for my band, so I can suit up and show up for my family and my kids, so I can suit up and show up for the fans and be somebody that is worthy of getting on that stage and speaking a message of hope, speaking a message of taking my pain and turning it into a purpose. To me, that is and I think being bold enough to take a stand for myself in that way has given me an opportunity to learn, like, how do I take care of myself? It's my what I put into my body, the food I eat. Sugar makes me depressed. Sugar's like instant depression for me. Also, physical exercise is another thing that I continue to throw myself into. A daily spiritual maintenance of my body and my mind and my spirit. You know, this thing, I'm on this thing, I read this thing. You know what this thing is? That's a Bible right there. I read that on the daily. I don't force my opinion on people. I just know that it works for me. Also, what I allow into my mind, what type of programming I allow into my mind, into my heart, what type of television, what type of media, what type of movies that I watch. I choose to actually not really watch much stuff because I'm like a sensitive being in a way, and I know how that stuff affects me in the long run. And so I've been in a process of the last 12 years of like deprogramming myself of the things that the world has taught me, because I can't follow the world. I don't. So those are the things that allow me to have some mental health.
I think it's really nice how you use your voice for good things. Like we have to talk about the song Leave a Light On, a collaboration with Carrie Underwood.
But when I see you fading in the dark,
right? And you guys are donating the royalties to the Talk Away the Dark campaign. For those who don't know this campaign, can you speak a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's in partnership with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and it's an organization that helps people that are struggling. It also has services for people that have been left behind by people that have died by suicide, and help them grieve, and support groups. And I think it's important that people know that there's help out there. Sometimes we don't feel like we have somebody in our family that we can go to, or maybe we feel like we can't go to our friends. And so the American Foundation is also partnered with a number in America. It's called 988. So, it's like you just dial that number and there's somebody going to be on the other end of the phone that's going to pick up and listen to you and just be an ear. And I think that this message of hope that they're bringing to the people is important. Suicide is one of the leading causes of death worldwide. That's fucking terrible. And I want to use this music to inspire hope, because I've lost friends, I've lost family members to suicide, too many of them. You know what I mean? And so this work is important. It's a work that I'll continue to do and be part of. I mean, I've been talking about it since our first single, Last Resort. That song was a cry for help. And I've met people out on the road face to face since 2000 that have told us how much our music has been a source of strength and hope to them. And I want to continue that message. I want to take pain and turn it into purpose. I think it's important for me to take the things that I struggle with emotionally, personally, spiritually, and turn them into my strengths. Because if I just allow the darkness to just beat me down and break me down and chip away, it's just not a good place to be. And so I just see so many people out there struggling that I just think it's important to carry this message to the people.
So for you, your music is that for you. You take this and you turn it into a strength by writing about it. That's really nice. And
yes.
How do you decide what to share with your fans through music?
I share it all. I think that's it. I think I've been an open book for years, and I think being vulnerable with how I interact with the world and how I deal with the battle of the mind, I think is important. I think it helps me understand it when I write about it, and it's like it takes this moment and I put it into a song, and then I grow and I come to an understanding and a peace with it. And I love that process. I love that process of taking like darkness and turning it into light. I feel it's just transformation is, I don't want to stay the way I am. I want to continue to evolve, and in evolving as a man, as a writer, as a creator, I'm successful sometimes, and I'm a total failure at other times. But it's okay. I think I'm just willing to like put myself out there and be vulnerable and just be real. There's plenty of people out there selling bullshit. I ain't going to be one of them.
Yeah. And speaking about your music, my last question is, you're a father and your music is also connect with different generations. I wanted to know if talking with your kids and your conversations with them help you engage with younger audiences, because your concerts are full of different generations in the crowd, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, raising kids has been my greatest joy and one of my greatest challenges of my life. And being able to father and mentor these young men. One of them's 22, one of them's just about to turn 20 in a couple days, and then I have a 10-year-old. And I think the willingness to be open and vulnerable has opened up a dialogue between me and my kids where they can come to me about anything, no matter what. I told my boys, I was like, no matter what's going on, good, bad, or ugly, and you feel like you need to open up about it, never be afraid to come to me. Never be afraid. It's like, maybe I'm not going to tell you exactly what you want to hear, but it's like, sometimes like a little tough love is good, you know? And I think that I've learned so much from being a father, and it's made me a better person, really and truly. And they inspire me. It's like sometimes I take their pain and their struggle and I put it into songs. You know, it's not always about me. Sometimes I'm writing about what my son's going through, and I think that this music is always an honest reflection of life.
I bet it means a lot to them to see how they inspire you. And can you just send a message to your Brazilian fans?
Brazil, it's Jacoby from Papa Roach. You know that I love you. You know that I can't wait to see you. Every time I see the message boards light up with "Come to Brazil," it gets me juiced. And I thank you guys for listening to the music. I appreciate you guys supporting us for all these years. And I can't wait to see you guys down there.